Despite all the rhetoric over caravans filled with migrants, we have just 18 days till the midterm elections. And while the economy is typically the top issue voters often cite as their reason for pulling the lever for a particular candidate, the latest Fox News poll suggests a surprising twist. When asked what matters most to them, the top issue voters feel is extremely important is health care, while issues of the economy, President Trump, and immigration are further down on the list. Republicans and Democrats are in a full-fledged messaging battle over protections for those with pre-existing conditions. Meanwhile, that caravan of migrants, we just showed it to you, and here it is on the screen. It's captured national attention. It is inching its way closer to the border. We have to ask, which issue will win at the polls? We thought for our viewer investor audience, we'd bring in Raymond James, top policy advisor in D.C., who bases financial investments around each possible outcome. Ed Mills is the guy. Ed, you live and breathe this stuff. There's a cosmic crash between investing and what voters decide. Will it be the caravan election, as the president said last night?
Well, I think what you have here, there's actually two elections that are going on. There's the election for the House, which is being fought in the suburbs and exurbs and in the urban centers of this country. And healthcare really is going to be the top issue. On the flip side, 9 Senate races we rate as toss-up. 8 of those are in states that Trump won. And so immigration issues that Trump wants to push to get Republican voters to the polls, those can decide those races. So it's really a tale of 2 elections out there right now. All
right, let's tackle the health care issue since it made it to the top of the Fox News poll. The one particular part of health care is really in the vice grip, and that's protecting people who have pre-existing health conditions from getting dropped by their insurance companies. Seems to be a sharp tool that Democrats are using because it appears to have traction for them. What does that potentially mean for health care investment?
Well, I think what you're going to see here is that if Democrats have control of the House and or Senate immediately after the election, they are going to push for more health care related items on their agenda. President Trump has talked a lot about prescription drugs, a lot about lowering the cost of health care. Well, Democrats are going to offer up that bill and dare Republicans to vote against it. And ultimately, what we're seeing here, and part of the reason why health care is at the top, is that once someone receives an entitlement, someone gets a benefit, if you try to take it away from them, voters respond and respond in a negative way.
All right, so let's show some health insurers, and then we can cycle through to the medical device makers, biotech companies. And do you get the sense that these might rally if the Democrats were to win, or they don't? I mean, where are you bringing your policy mind to this?
Yeah, no, I would think about kind of with the insurers, anytime that we're going to have a divided government, we are not going to see a repeal of the Affordable Care Act. We will look to see if there's going to be a big push in the lame duck session. Mitch McConnell talked about this recently, where you actually might have the Congress take one last go at the ACA if they lose Congress. What I'd be looking at more so from the election perspective is on anything related to prescription drugs, because I think that is the kind of weak spot politically for Republicans, something Democrats would want to take advantage of.
Well, I wonder if they will, and if they can. The president tweeted yesterday that, quote, all Republicans support the most popular part of Obamacare, and that's the coverage of pre-existing conditions. But 29 Republican state attorneys general have filed a lawsuit to do away with it. Attorney General Jeff Sessions is on board, and in a letter, he said he has the president's approval. So you've got Democrats like Senator Claire McCaskill of Missouri saying, you don't go to court and get rid of important protections when there's no backup, when people will be in a free fall. In the end, who has the upper hand here? And is it the hospital stocks device makers?
Well, no, I think that the Democrats politically have the upper hand here. I think that, we don't want to see an election come down to kind of a rehashing of some of the domestic issues if you are a Republican. And if you're a Democrat, you would love to see kind of the final couple weeks of this election being whether or not you're going to keep your existing health care insurance after the election.